Why did I move to Notion from Evernote? Today we're going to go down and compare these two note-taking apps. Probably also talking about some cons that I'm experiencing currently with Notion. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jenny Family-Laricano. I'm a designer and I'm also an educator helping people just like you build a personal knowledge cloud so you can create more fulfilling work with clarity. If you have been subscribed on my channel, you'd know that Notion is nothing new here. I've been doing a couple videos talking about how I like to use Notion, but I actually started using Evernote whenever I was building my personal knowledge system. If you're not familiar with either of those tools, they're both note-taking apps. Evernote was founded in 2004, whereas Notion is a lot more recent and it was founded in 2012. Evernote has definitely been around a little bit longer than Notion. When my friend first told me about Notion, she was actually really hesitant on letting me know about it because she knew how much I absolutely loved Evernote. And I loved Evernote for a lot of reasons, but it was primarily because I used it for almost everything. And so when I found out about Notion, I was just like, I need to get in here. One of the reasons why I jumped into it also was because of the illustrations by Roman Murdoch, one of my favorite illustrators. Knowing and recognizing his style out of nowhere, because he does the brand illustrations, I immediately jumped. If they appreciate the sensibilities of Roman, then I think they're the company for me. When comparing both of them, I have a couple qualities that I'm going to take a look at. Can this tool be utilized on multiple devices? Even within the past year, I tend to jump from my mobile phone to my laptop to my computer, previously a work computer, and then another laptop. So it needs to be flexible and usable on multiple devices. That's where both Evernote and Notion are capable of doing. I'm able to have the exact same note on both of them, and it would live update on my other device so that whenever I'm jumping from device or if I'm heading into a meeting or sharing information with someone, then it's really easy to keep up the experience. Most recently, I've been jumping from my desktop to my iPad. So whenever I would write my notes up on my desktop, it would be really easy to have it pop on my iPad. So when I go into class or when I go into a meeting, it is the most recent version and I can go in knowing that I don't need to think about transferring any information. Another quality that I was looking into was just, is it easy to add to? This is where Evernote unfortunately is a little bit better because the easy to capture is a lot more seamless when it comes to Evernote. They have a quick capture that's available on the desktop as well as browser and all of the iOS. Notion's a little bit harder because of the offline version, and I think because of its constant connection to the internet, it tends to be slightly slower than when you do Evernote. That was just the main thing, is that I just have to be slightly patient. This is the next quality that I had compared them with is there an offline mode? Can I utilize this when I don't have Wi-Fi, when I'm running errands, or say if I'm going to the hospital, there's just some dead spots where you just don't have access to Wi-Fi. And in those moments, that's when I'm really upset because unfortunately Notion doesn't have any offline support. So something that I noticed when I was double checking the offline mode on Notion, I actually found out that a lot of the content that I have in my personal knowledge cloud is actually still there and accessible via offline mode. So the only things that I saw that you could technically lose in offline mode was the images and some of the templates. Otherwise, I think most of the things have been saved onto a cache because I was able to access almost everything. I'm gonna give this round to Evernote because I really do rely on those images in my Notion. So some of the other qualities that I was looking into is a flexible structure. Using Evernote primarily as my main second brain tool, capturing everything, I definitely ran into some blockers in terms of capturing my ideas. Because of the notebook tagging system, there are limitations on how you can really structure your notes. There's only maybe a couple levels of note taking. It was just kind of hard to structure. It was just, so this is where I chose Notion, is that I just wanted something that to be able to capture exactly the depth of a certain topic and still maintain the top level function of being really simple to access. So flexible structure, Notion takes the cake on this one because you can literally take the same information, turn it into a board like Trello, you can take it into a database and a table like Google Sheets and still utilize functions. It can also serve as a gallery. Like there's so many different ways where you can take the same information and translate it to a different view depending on your needs. That's just where Notion is really shining, where it takes the same information and can translate it into a lot of different ways. Another thing that I love Notion for specifically is the fact that it can handle a lot of different types of content. Very similar to what I was talking about with the flexible structure, but what I mean is that it can capture a lot of different types of content. Even Google Sheets, embed Miro or murals if you are creating roadmaps. Also, the way that it drops in images reminds me very much of Dropbox Paper, where you can literally drop in images and it can go side by side. It can like expand. The way that dropping in images, you can drop in video. It's so flexible and it looks really good when it does it. Like you drop in an image and it literally just like looks nice. You can add like captions to those images and create a very beautiful gallery, which is really useful when you're capturing a lot of content when you are going through a project and you're just trying to compare a lot of different versions. And the last thing that I absolutely love about Notion is the self-referencing links. Now, within Notion, you can link one page to another one and have that also link like other places, and it makes it become almost like a Wikipedia for yourself, so that if you're trying to reference a link that's like deeply nested, you don't have to reformat or restructure everything. You can just literally link it to that page and you'll be able to find it. Searching in Notion can be a little bit on the slow side because of its connection to the internet probably. But what I found is if you're searching within a database, that's actually almost immediate. So search within a database always goes really fast. Searching across your whole Notion cloud tends to take up a couple seconds longer, not too much longer. Final takeaways from this is with Notion is a very powerful tool. It can almost capture information almost infinitely in depth. I'm willing to wait a couple seconds for it and also be patient when I don't have access to the internet because the tool is just that great. I'm still able to like share to Notion from my phone as well as the browser, so it's still able to capture some of it. But I'd even challenge that maybe we don't have to capture absolutely everything. Sometimes the ease of capture can also be a negative thing when it comes to Evernote, because then you're just gonna get a lot of note bloat, where it just like inflates your whole like notes and it just makes it harder for you to access in the future. So hopefully that helps. That's literally why I jumped into Notion. I've been using Notion 100% since 2019. Not gonna go back. Maybe there's another tool in the future that might do what I need. But for now, Notion is a tool for me. If you're interested in seeing how I like to process my inbox, that's like email inbox, life before Evernote and Notion, check out this video where I process 2,500 emails and I show you exactly how long that takes when you're doing it manually, going through every single one. Hopefully I'll see you there and I'll chat with you soon.